Class 9. Today we are going to start a new chapter of chemistry, that is chapter number 3, atoms and molecules. So ancient Indian and Greek philosophers, they have always wondered about the unknown and unseen form of matter. So first of all, according to the Indian philosopher, if we will divide matter, which is known as padarth, according to Indian philosopher, matter is known as padarth. If we will going on dividing the matter or the padarth, we shall get smaller and smaller particles, and then a time will come when we shall come across the smallest particles, beyond which further division will not be possible. So according to Indian philosopher, padarth, we are dividing the padarth, and when we are going on dividing the padarth, ultimately a time will come, after that further division is not possible. So that is called these particles they are named as parmanu. So these particles are named as parmanu. So when we are going on dividing the padarth, lastly we are getting parmanu further, which is further not be divisible. So according in the same era, according to ancient Greek philosophers, Democritus, he also said that if we going on dividing matter, if we go on divide matter, a stage will come when particles cannot be divided further. So according to Greek philosopher, or according to Greek, this name is given as atoms, which means indivisible. So according to Greek, the name is given as atoms, which means indivisible. So atoms are further not be able to divide. So all this was based on philosophical considerations, and not much experimental work is there to validate these ideas. So but till now we are using the term atoms, so that it is not further divisible. So anyway, after that scientists, they got the difference between the elements and the compounds. When elements combine together in a fixed proportion, they are forming the compound. So when you had already learned about the chemical reaction, so like I am telling in the previous class, you had learned little bit, so again I am telling. For example, when a acid reacts with a base, we get salt. Salt is completely different from the acid or the base, but when they combine, we are getting salt. So this is a chemical reaction. This is a chemical reaction. Here chemical changes takes place. So suppose you will take now sodium chloride or NaCl, common salt you will take, and you will mix in the water. So that is not a chemical reaction. That is just only you are mixing the salt with water to make salt solution. So that is not a chemical change, but when there is chemical changes takes place, the properties of the substance also changes. The left side what we are writing, this is called reactant, and this is our product. So this is our reactant and this is our product. In a chemical reaction, when the reactants react with each other, we get a new compound. We get a new compound whose properties are completely different from the properties of the reactant. So this is about the chemical reaction. Now we will see what happens when the chemical reactions takes place. So Anthony Lavoisier, he laid the foundation of chemical science by establishing two important laws of chemical combination. So to find out what is happening when a chemical changes takes place, so Antoine Lavoisier, he took two salt. For example, we can take copper sulfate and sodium carbonate. There are many salts, we can take any pair, but now for example we will take two salt, that is copper sulfate and sodium carbonate. So he took two salts, copper sulfate and sodium carbonate. So now we will make the solution. Solution means we will add the water. We will make copper sulfate solution and sodium carbonate solution. That means water is added, like we are making salt solution. So after taking copper sulfate and sodium carbonate, its solution is made. After that, he took a conical flask. In a conical flask, he took the salt of sodium carbonate. So this is our sodium carbonate salt solution in the conical flask, and in the test tube he took solution of copper sulfate. So he took two solutions which he made, copper sulfate solution and sodium carbonate solution. Only difference is that these solutions are not mixed with each other. It is kept in a conical flask, and test tube separately it is kept so that they will not mix with each other. Then he did what he did, he measured the conical flask. He measured its weight in gram. Maybe it may be X gram or Y gram or whatever. So he measured the grams. He measured the weights in grams. After that, what he did, he took out the thread slowly. He took out the thread slowly so that these two solutions will mix with each other. So after mixing, chemical reaction will take place, because this is a salt solution, this is another salt solution. So surely a chemical reaction will take place and a new product will be formed. So when these two solutions are mixing with each other, some chemical reactions took place and new product is formed. After that, again he took the conical flask for measuring. So after measuring, he got a shocking result. He was very excited to know about the results, but after measuring, he got a shocking result that the weight what he measured before mixing these two solutions is equal to the weight after measuring the chemical reactions. That means the weight of the reactant is equal to the weight of the product, or we can say the mass of the reactants is equal to the mass of the product. If we will write the experiment in an equation form, then copper sulfate is reacting with the sodium carbonate and it is giving copper carbonate and sodium sulfate. These two are exchanged. These two, carbonate and sulfate, these two are exchanged. So we are getting copper carbonate and sodium sulfate. So this is our left side. Left side is known as our reactants, and the right side what we are getting, that is our product. So he got that the mass of the reactant is equal to the mass of the product. No mass is here created when the reactions took place. When after mixing these two solution, when the reaction took place, no new mass is created, or it is not destroyed also. So there is no creation of new mass and no destruction of the mass. That means the mass of the reactant is equal to the mass of the product. So we can state the law as the law of conservation of mass. It is known as the law of conservation of mass. Conservation means save or protect. So law of conservation of mass, it states that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. So the first law of laws of chemical combination is law of conservation of mass, where mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction, or in other words we can say that the mass of the reactant is equal to the mass of the products in a chemical reaction. There is no new creation of the mass, or there is no destruction also. So mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. So if we will take an example how it is happening, then I will show you an example. So sodium carbonate reacts with ethanoic acid to give carbon dioxide, water and sodium ethanoate. So here these are the reactants and these three are the products. So two reactants react with each other to give three products. Sodium carbonate reacts with ethanoic acid to give carbon dioxide, water and sodium ethanoate, and the masses are given. These masses are taken out and it is given that 5.3 gram of sodium carbonate reacts with 6 gram of ethanoic acid to give 2.2 gram of carbon dioxide, 0.9 gram of water and 8.2 gram of sodium ethanoate. So now we will see whether it is observing or it is obeying the law of conservation of mass, that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. So this is a chemical reaction. Two reactants react with each other to give three new products. So here three new products are formed. So this is a chemical reaction. So first of all, for the reactant side, we will find out the total mass. So when we find out the total mass of the reactants, 5.3 gram and 6 gram, we got total mass of the reactant is 11.3 gram, and when we will calculate the total mass of the products, that is 2.2 gram, 0.9 gram and 8.2 gram. This will also 11.3 gram you can calculate. So here it indicates that here also you can see, you can observe that the mass of the reactants is equal to the mass of the product. There is no new creation of the mass, neither nor there is destruction of the mass. So we can say that law of conservation of mass states that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. So this is our first law of laws of chemical combination. So along with this, read your book and do the exercise. Some examples are given in your book also, how to find out to show that whether the law of conservation of mass, the chemical reactions are agreeing with the law or not. So in the next class we will study about the second law of chemical combination.